Mike, I
Yeah.
bet you're wondering, there should be more family games with cats.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, the market is clamoring.
Yes, yes, there are. Well, there is one. Okay, today we're taking a look at Kyoto No Neko. This actually is, you've played this, and it's...
I hope so. I certainly hope I have.
I was going to say, my comment was you played it before me.
I did.
So you were excited about this.
Yeah.
This one, it's a literal family weight game.
It is a family weight game, indeed.
Okay, which a lot of them brag to be, but before we go into what we thought about it, let's quickly see how it's played. Okay, we are set up for a game of Kyoto No Neko right now. Now, you've got a rule book in here, and also you've got a rule summary, which really does guide you through the game. This is a fairly simple family weight game. I'm going to go at a quick overview again, not all the rules. I'm just going to kind of give you a feel of how it plays. First off, the way you win the game is you're going to try to get the most medals. So the game is going to end when someone gets over here, then you're going to finish one more round, or finish a round, and whoever has the most medals then wins. So, how do you get those medals? Well, you're going to achieve these different objectives here. There are medals you can get here. Along this track, you can get a medal. And you can also get a medal here. Pretty much the turns take the same kind of route. You have a movement, then you have an action. Your movement is going to be here. You start off as a kitten, and everyone gets these very cute little kittens. Look at that. Oh my goodness. So all these kittens, and you see these paw tracks here, they're going to be different types of skill checks as you flip those. So the whole game is based on skill checks. You're going to see how good you are with everything right here. You've got your agility, you've got your friendship, you've got your fighting, and you've got your hunting. So notice here that these are all +1 here and +2. They're asymmetric. Over here you've got a +2 on agility. So you're going to add that when you run that skill check. So pretty much what's going to happen is your movement. First off, your movement, like I said, you start off as a kitten right here. So you have 3 movement. Every time you move into a space with a paw, you're going to flip it over. So if I move here, I will then flip this over. And let's go briefly into this. So right here, this is a bird. You have 7 right here. So I can choose, because this does not have a red background, I can choose whether to interact or not, because a kitten doesn't have to chase a bird. So you're going to go 1, and then you can go 2, 3. Now, you're going to wander around aimlessly. Let's take a look over here at these objectives. These are going to change for every scenario. Here, you're going to try to collect a bird. If you get a bird, then you're going to get one of these medals and place it over here. So if I were to get this guy here, I would place it there, place the medal there, and I've got it. This right here is to make it to the other person's terrace, which is these areas they're at there. And then here is, we'll get that in a moment, this is to get a bug, and this is to climb a tree. And we'll get to that in a moment as well. And this is Shiva. So everything is going to have, every scenario has one different objectives. This one is to befriend Shiva, which is one of these over here. So pretty much what's going to happen is, let's go through the skill check first off. This has a 7 right here, so I have +2. Okay, so I can roll a 5. So I roll these, and take a look. There actually is no 5 there. But I'm still going to do that skill check. Why? Because when I fail, you fail up. So if I roll this, take a look. 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. That did not achieve the 7 right there. But because I failed, I then move up 1 skill. So you say you fail upward. Now, if I were to fail on one of these has a critical, right here, this is a critical, you will fail no matter what. Even if you have, say it's 6 and you're up to 6 here, you will automatically fail. If you fail the critical, you're going to go up 2, which would be very good. And then on failure here, the next person is going to move your kitten 3 different spaces. So if I fail that, I'd go back 3. They can move me back wherever they want to, maybe back to my terrace here. Now, if, say I would have passed this, then I would have gotten this paw token right here, and I would have placed it right here, just like that. And I would have also got my little medal over here. The white one goes right there. And then the higher you go up on this track, if you get to the second spot here, I get to move a skill up. And if I get here, I also get that medal. So let's go a bit more. So that's pretty much how you're going to go ahead and do different skill checks and things. And there is, for example, if I were to go through here, like I said, you could ignore most of these. Ignore the butterfly if you'd like. But this guy, if I were here, I have to, because this is a dog, I have to do this skill check. So that is a 6. So I have to pass that. And if I pass it, I can continue movement. If not, then I stop, and then 2 means I have to then move 2 away towards my home. A couple of other things too. Once you move into the road, if you move into the road, then you're going to grab one of these, and these bikes are going to move. So this would move the purple one 4, and then the green one 1. So we're going to go around, and if they come into your space, you're going to have to do an agility check right here for a 7 to avoid the bike. So it's all about when you move there, you're going to have to make sure the bike is not close enough or take a chance. And if you jump and avoid the bike, you keep going. And if not, then you fail, just like every other skill check. One other thing is we're going to go into trees, which is a tree right here. Say I found that tree, then this tree comes out. It's a 4. It's going to go right there. And that has a skill check of 4, meaning if I roll and I get that 4, then I can climb to the top of that tree, and then I can secretly peek at any 3 paw prints anywhere on the board. Well, what does that do? That gives me information. If I'm looking for one of these, I can find those more easily and know where they are. And then another thing about movement too, a movement, you can move just like this orthogonally, not diagonally, but you will notice there are hedges and there are buildings there. You cannot jump the hedges until, take a look here, you have to have a 4 agility to jump hedges and a 6 agility to jump buildings. So you have to do that as you get this skill track higher. Now, one other thing to mention is you'll notice some medals here. Once, say, the white cat here gets a second medal, then that's going to age up all the cats. Not just you, all the cats. So you're going to get 5 extra on any skill checks. You can add those 5 points across here, and then move it just like this. So now my movement is now 4 because my kitten is getting older. And everyone else is going to do that as well. As you get closer to the end, you're going to grow up, and at the end you will be a larger cat, a full-size cat, and you will have a movement of 6. Everybody else, some of these are asymmetric, and you will move it up again there. And then there's the same thing here. For example, there are different friendships. This right here is a friendship, a butterfly with a friendship. If you do get this one, you're going to place it here. This works the same way as this track. You're going to move over. If you move here, you get up a skill check, and here you get that other medal. So you can get medals from different places. You can get one from here, and then all of these right here. You can start pulling them over, and you just keep moving until you get to the end, and then whoever gets the most medals, or actually 5 medals first, wins. One other thing I will mention, if you ever end in a space with another cat, you can choose to fight. And a fight is just a kind of a roll off with the die, and then you go ahead and compare your fighting skills, and then whoever wins will also be able to get one of these, and the other one does retreat. But you can always choose to fight, you don't have to. And these right here will go there and advance that track as well. So this is the first scenario. There's a lot more you can do. Every scenario has something a little bit different. So a lot of these change. You have different standees and things, and you keep going forward. And all of these are different goals. So a lot of these are going to change, and some are scenario specific. Okay, so in a nutshell, that is how you play Kyoto No Neko. And let's send it back and see what we thought about it.
Okay, that was probably one of the best explanations of any game I think I've ever seen.
I am speechless.
Do you feel like you played it again?
I feel like I relived the first time I played it. Right? It's like you want to get back to the feeling you had the first time you experienced a game, and I lived it all over again.
You did. Chills, Mike. All right, but now, first off, this is Family Weight, and Family Weight, the title is thrown around a lot. There have been, as someone with an 8-year-old, there have been some Family Weight I go, no.
Yeah.
No. But this one really feels like it is that weight.
It does. And that actually it leads into a couple of the smaller negatives I have.
Really?
With the game. It does. Because
okay,
while I agree with you that it is a family weight game, and in the way it's presented and in the way the mechanisms work, I mean, there's, almost roll and move type feel to this game.
It is.
There are some weird kind of edge cases and rules regarding movement that I feel like should have been sanded down and made a little bit more elegant. And i.e., when you are passing over a paw token, you flip the paw token over.
Right.
However, if you're running away, if you're getting chased and you go over a paw token, no, you don't turn it over then.
Right.
Right. You want to cross the road, but you have to deal with. I don't know. I feel like it's certain little elements are almost felt unnecessary to me. But I'm not saying, that doesn't kill the game for me. I do kind of wish they had sanded a couple of rough edges, rules-wise.
I can see it. There are a couple tweaks, like as far as the fleeing. You either flee towards your home or the person next to you moves you around.
Right.
And it's little details like that because the actual rule set is very simple.
It's very simple,
But then when you get to those failures and all that stuff, it does get to be a bit odd. The one thing is, I will say the skill checks, first of all, the component-wise, those little cats are very cute.
The cats are great. This to me is a production of high highs and a couple of low lows.
Okay, was it just me or the basis on those bikes?
No, it was not just you. As a matter of fact, I purchased this game at Gen Con.
I did too, yep.
Okay, and at Gen Con, I found this out after Gen Con was over, they being Matago, were actually handing out, they had some replacement bases flown in.
Really?
Yeah, and I just forgot to go back to the booth and get them. What I ended up doing is I glued mine.
Okay.
Which is simple. Elmer's glue, I literally put a drop of glue. But if you don't do that, you pick up the bike and the base is going to fall.
It is.
100%
every time.
Going to fall. So you do need to glue them. It's fine because they do live in the box fine assembled, right?
Yeah.
It's a minor annoyance, but there are other elements of the game that are just beautiful. I like the look of the game a lot. I think that the component quality, for the most part, is very good with a couple of that, the bicycles were not the best implementation of that.
No, I agree. And pretty much this is just, like you said, almost roll and move, but there's no rolling to movement. You just move and then you just continually do those skill checks.
Yes.
And it does fund the mitigation as far as the searching with the climbing the trees, looking and trying to find those different places. At the beginning of the game, when you get to move another cat, if they fail, it doesn't matter much. You don't know where they're moving them. A lot of that just becomes fiddly. I like this game a lot. I will say I like the idea of when you fail, you want to take up a skill check, and even if you fail, you look forward to it because you get to fail forward.
To me, that's where it best feels like a family game. It's my favorite mechanism in the game is that you are, as you said, constantly making skill checks, but you're kind of happy either way, and that's perfect for younger gamers. If you succeed with this, yay, I got to do what I want to do. If you fail, you're going to learn. And it says that in the rule book. The kitten learns from its failure and bumps up that skill, so they're better at it next time because they learned something from it. And I think that's just a really smart way of having skill checks that you can succeed or fail, right? This handles it in a way that I think is very clever.
And you all go up together, too, like as far as when you actually grow.
The kitten growth.
The kitten growth, that's interesting because at first I thought, well, why does that only one person do it? But that is nice in a family game. Yeah. I do think that moving up 5 spots, that's a lot.
It is.
At first, And I think once you get to a point, then you are pretty much going to pass the majority of your skill checks.
Yes, I think that is true.
So, yeah.
And that's fine because, again, the goal in the game is simple as it should be for a game like this, right? You're trying to get the most medals, and you're getting those from, like, fulfilling missions, and the missions are generally easy to fulfill, right? And I like the idea. Like, if you really... I know there's a million cat games out there. We made a joke about it at the beginning of this review. But if you really get into the idea of kittens just kind of running around and they're climbing trees, they're jumping over hedges when they get, agile enough and jumping over roofs, and they're trying to catch butterflies and bugs, and maybe they have a rival cat out there that they might get into a little cat fight with. All of that is kind of fun, and obviously if you are taken by the Japanese theme, doing it in that setting is kind of fun too, with the specific trees and buildings you might expect to see there.
I agree. All right, so where do you come down on this then?
Yeah, this one is it's a 7.5 because I think that it does a lot of things very well. That we've mentioned. I do wish they had sanded off a few of those rough edges and made... There should not really be any kind of, I wouldn't call it an edge case, but exceptions. There's a couple of exceptions that they built into this that I wish they had just made that a cleaner rule, right? But overall, I think it's a charming game. I think it's going to have some relatively wild appeal. And wide. Wild and wide. Couple of production issues that kind of kept it from going a little bit higher, but overall, a game I can easily recommend. I feel like this one might slip under the radar, though. I don't hear many people talking about it, so we'll see. We'll see.
No, what you said. I'm coming a bit higher at an 8.
Okay.
Because I do think it's good for families. My daughter loves this, moving it around, and I think it's the way the bikes move is interesting. You don't roll a die.
That's true. We didn't talk about that, but the bikes are interesting. They're kind of smart.
Because sometimes it's like one space and 6 for the other one, and it's really, you have to time that. So you pretty much, on your turn, you may just kind of wait on a street and be like, all right, I'm going to wait to move the bike. So all of that. There are little intricacies, but I think you can kind of cater those to your family.
I agree, yeah.
So I think it's a great starting point. And again, this is a family weight game that actually I think is good for the family.
Family. This is like a Fast and the Furious game. It's all really about the family.
It is all about the family.
100%.
Feline family.
Feline family, no Neko.
No Neko. I'm Joey Evans.
I'm Mike Dilisio.
And we play cat games.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us for that video. If you haven't yet, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hey, make sure you check out what's happening, where I'll cover an app on an iOS or a Switch device, and you can check it out along with me. Thanks very much. You've been watching The Dice Tower.